7 of the 10 manufacturers in challenge mode have now been cleared. And now, it's time for us to move on to manufacturer number 8, which is Ducati. And we have just 2 bikes to get here. We've got the Ducati 999R and, ironically, the 999R Racing Modifier. As we begin at Deep Forest Raceway and we end at Valencia. So, let's get Deep Forest out of the way first and foremost. Shall we? As our first opponent is the Suzuki GSXR 1000. Well, ironically, our first and only opponent, I should say. But we'll see how we go. But right now, we seem to be doing okay. Okay, don't fall off. Okay, I stay up on my high horse. I have not pulled up yet. And on the brakes, kinda knew I was gonna hit those curbs anyway, but still able to keep this run alive. And all I have to do is figure out how to catch my opponent. Since I have a bit less horsepower, I would imagine I'll probably have a bit more balance in the bike than what I had before. And I'm off course. Oh well, let's try again. Yeah, did I mention superbikes? Oh, fuck my ass. Did I mention superbikes are really hard to get a hold of in this game? As in, basically, they are just really fucking hard to fully understand how to ride them and to not get fucking caught out by their massive amount of horsepower. At least in a motorcycle world, it's a massive amount of horsepower. Even though this technically is someone who is more or less a car racing gamer, who, for want of a better phrase, has thought it was now time for him to do something with the opposite mode of racing vehicles. Switching from 4 wheels to 2 wheels. And the run is going better this time, especially since I did get caught out by the last corner on the first attempt, and then on the second attempt, well, I went too fast. And a little bit of a wobble there in the braking zone, but able to get the apex I need. And now up the inside, and the Ducati is mine. No real use in going hard on the throttle. After that, I was still gonna get the bike regardless. And that's it. And now we just have to get the other. And now all that's left for us to do is to get the racing bike. And then we should be done. As we get our red Ducati 999R. And now we move on to this one. Another time trial at Valencia. This should more or less be second nature to me now, because of the laps I've done here before. And as I suspected, the bike itself more or less has the same engine note as the road bike, but just with a more aggressive sound to it. But either way, I more or less know what I have to do here now. I've driven enough laps around Valencia to basically know this course like the back of my hand, and I also know that whenever the bike has a little bit of a wobble, it's not too much to threat. And on the brakes again, and still we do okay. And having to brake a few times just to get through the corner. I think I just saw the Ford logo there for a moment on that set of sponsors. And through the last corner, and lifting just a little bit, and weaving to the outside just a little bit there, but able to get back on the power. I keep the run alive, and it looks like it's going to be a 141, and yes it is. I set a 141.7, and all that took me was 7 minutes of recording to get through both of those bikes. And you know what? I think I'm going to save the replay, because, well, I think it's time for me to save another replay with a racing superbike. This is now episode 25 of this. My god. Anyway, that was Ducati in the challenge mode. And now all we have left is Aprilia and Buell. And then once we have got through those two manufacturers, we can then move on to some racing. And as ever, putting on my typical racing number, you probably know what it is now. I pretty much put it on all my bikes, as you might have guessed, because I can. And this one definitely does look like the sort of bike that probably would compete in the MotoGP. Ironically, Ducati is quite literally sweeping the floor to the rest of its competition in the MotoGP, because they've basically won all but one race in the MotoGP Championship. And the only reason why the championship is really compelling is because it's the two best riders who are duking it out for the title. Either way, 47.2% is now the completion percentage we are at. So we've gained another 0.8% from acquiring just those two bikes. Although by the time this video gets published, it'll probably be afterwards. So whoever the champion is whoever the champion is. Anyway, that was Ducati, and next time we will be doing Aprilia.